project. We're here at Wellington High School with Dave Conklin's class in digital media, as well as his students. And I really want to say thank you to Dave and his students for allowing organizations like Thrive to share their mission and their programs with the public. We cannot do it on our own, so I really want to give a shout out to your class and your students. And if you students ever decide to go on with media studies, you're in for an exciting career, because not only do you get to explore the world, other cultures, etc., you get paid for it, so what's not to love about it? So anyway, today we're going to discuss a very exciting program that can be a life changer for many people in southern Marin County. It's called Combating Metabolic Syndrome. It's a 6-month program that is funded by Thrive and supported by Mercy Health, up and down, that is free to people who are accepted into the program. And it's designed to reduce the risks of heart disease, stroke, and diabetes. We're very lucky today to have Betsy Neubauer, who is a key manager of the program, and she is the parish nurse for Mercy Health. Welcome, Betsy.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Welcome. Betsy, let's cut to the chase.
Okay.
What is metabolic syndrome?
It's a good question. A lot of people ask that question. Metabolic syndrome is several conditions that increase your risk of heart disease, strokes, and diabetes. There are several factors in it. If your blood pressure is high, if you have high cholesterol, if you have that body fat around your waist, what's called pear shape.
Or the inner tube or something,
Right,
whatever people used to
exactly.
call it, right?
Exactly. And high cholesterol, low HDL, which is your good cholesterol, and high LDL, which is your bad cholesterol. So if a person has 3 out of those, then they are considered to have metabolic syndrome. So their physician may not tell them that they have metabolic syndrome, but they will tell them that they have that risk factor, which will increase their chances of having those diseases. Also, genetics plays a role in this as well.
I would imagine it
Right.
does. So, and what are some of the causes?
The causes would be poor nutrition, a lifestyle that's not active, again, genetics, and labs that are off the chart, like high cholesterol, high triglycerides, and your glucose, your insulin resistant, which would be like a diabetic.
Can you just clarify for people, what is the difference between being overweight and obesity?
And that word is used interchangeably, but basically there is something called a body mass index, and it takes your height and your weight, and there's this graph, and it says for this height you should be this weight, and they give it a percentage. So if you're 25% to 30, you're considered overweight. If you're 30% and above, you're considered obese. So that's where the terminology comes in.
Okay, and how can we prevent the risks associated with metabolic syndrome?
And that's where we go into the program. The risk factors, how do we prevent it, is activity, just exercising, walking, just being very active, portion control, having nutritious food, being careful what you eat, following up with your physician, making sure that your numbers are good. If you need to get on medication, do that. So those are the things that we work on.
Right. Can I just put in a little plug for Thrive? Because starting this month, actually on the 13th of this month through March 31st, Thrive is sponsoring a pickle walk challenge at Westwood Elementary School. And it involves, we're just trying to get people to stay active over the winter months. So if they fill out a raffle ticket or whatnot, and either play pickleball indoor pickleball at Westwood, or they excuse me, they walk the track, they enter their names, and then they can win a prize at the end of it. So just had to make a plug for that.
Okay.
You don't mind?
Well, it is really good with her activity, so this is a good place to live at to
Yes.
get that activity if you need it,
Right.
which everyone does.
Yeah, and there's indoor walking, for example, at town hall, et cetera, et cetera. Well, how did this Combating Metabolic Syndrome project start?
This is our third year doing it. I just completed my first year doing it last year. What has happened during the pandemic, we saw numbers that were falling under that category, so we started a program on that. Then we're considered parish nursing, which is, we just recently changed our name. I meant to tell you that. We're now called faith-based community nursing. And so we came to the Wellington area, to the southern portion of Lorraine County, and introduced it. And Thrive showed a lot of interest to it and took it over.
Yeah,
So
and it just so happens that in southern Lorraine County, it's rural here. And we have a limited number of health and medical facilities. So it was a blessing that Thrive came on, Mercy came on board.
yes.
So thank you very much for
Thank
doing
you.
this program, which is really
And you have some
incredible.
wonderful people here. I just loved everyone I've worked with.
Okay, just to ask some details about it, I understand it's a 6-month program.
It is.
Why 6 months instead of maybe 2 or 3 months?
Because we want it to be a lifestyle change. We don't want it to be sort of like a trendy, short term. Statistics show that on an average, it takes 66 days for a person to develop a habit that is automatic. So that's approximately 2 months, giving and taking a couple of days here and there. And it's different for everybody. So what we do is 6 months is that you're committing to our education, you're committing to making these changes, you're committing to the lab work that we'll be doing, you're committing to the support system. So it will be a lot of work that we're gonna be putting into you, but also you have to put in as well.
Mhm, I
So
imagine.
also within this time, you'll be going through 2 seasons. You'll be going from winter to spring and in early summer. You'll also be going through several holidays. So those are the times that people usually kind of go off their eating, and this will help us support you along the way.
Great,
Mm.
I understand that. We just
Mhm.
came off of the holiday season.
Exactly, yeah.
And I'm thinking now, let's go to Bread and Brew after this for pastries. I'm still in the holiday frame
You
of
really
mind.
are? Well, that sounds good to me. We'll do it in portion control, okay?
No. What can participants expect from the program?
Initially, what we do is we take 20 people into the program. So there's an application they will have to fill out. We take the application, we can actually start taking them now, but it's from February 1st to the 15th. We will not take any applications after the 15th.
Okay,
Once we go through the applications, we'll pick 20 people from that group, and then we will notify them on the 20th. From that point on, we have a date set already for the Mercy Health Medical Office that's here. What's the address to that?
840, I think, Patriot Drive.
Patriot Drive. So we will have the initial screening on that day. Everyone will come in, we will weigh them, do measurements, do blood pressure, do
right.
lab work. They will get a gift bag that will have supplies that will make the program successful for them. Once that's done, we will have an initial Zoom meeting, which we will introduce the program. They will meet all of us. They'll meet us also at the office, but then they will introduce them to everyone there as well, and we will go through the entire program, answer any questions. And then from that point on, every month, there is an educational program that we will offer. And the first one covers Know Your Numbers. How many people have gone to the doctor, had your lab work, and you received your lab work, and you know that the levels are high and low only because you see an H and an L. But do you really know what that lab is about? So
Right.
that's exactly what we're teaching you, so that when you look at your lab, you know, I have a high cholesterol, why do you have a high cholesterol? Or your HDL, a lot of people hear HDL and LDL, and they don't know that's a good cholesterol and a bad cholesterol and what they do. So we educate you on that. We also go through each one of them individually. We educate on nutrition, on picking, good snacks compared to bad snacks. I think we titled it "Don't Be a Junk Food Junkie," and we just have a lot of education and a lot of events in between. Then midway through the program, we do another session where you come in and we do the weights, the blood pressure, and the labs, and then at the end of the program, we repeat that as well. the goal is that your labs from the beginning to the end would have improved.
Excellent. And what about exercise? Do you actually have like a one-on-one exercise with some of the participants, or?
What we do is we're part of United We Sweat, so we encourage them to do that
Great
because then it
resource.
has a lot of free activity for people to do. And like you mentioned, the southern part of Wayne County has activities all over the place. During the summer, they have pickleball, they have that pickleball walk that you talked about. The metro parks are there.
Yep.
They have walking in the schools during the bad weather. So there's plenty of activities around this area that anyone can participate in. And they're at different times too, which is really good.
Yeah, truly. And United We Sweat, is that part of Lorraine County Public Health, I think?
I believe
Yes,
it
it
is.
is.
Yes, it is.
But you can, they actually have exercise videos also.
They do. They have line dancing, and they have Zumba. They have
Yep.
everything
They have a
in
lot.
there. It's a great. You can just go to the website and just hit anything from
Right,
there.
right.
Mhm.
And they, what is that other dance? Line dancing. I
Line
mean,
dancing. Yeah.
Oh, yoga, lots of yoga.
Yeah. They have.
And most of these, in fact, most of these activities are free,
Right.
or
Exactly.
very.
Or very minimal.
Yeah.
Right.
Speaking of money, how much would a participant have to pay if this weren't funded by Thrive?
Considering
for the
every
entire 6-month program.
right, considering everything that they're getting a blood pressure cuff. They're getting all sorts of little gifts. Plus all the education that we provide and the one-on-one, because they get phone calls as well. We start initially every week to get everybody starting the program, and then we kind of do it like every other week and so on. A program like that, and I just looked it up after we had that discussion, it would go between $600 to over $1,000. So,
Wow.
and this whole program, including the lab work, and actually with the lab work, it'd probably be over $1,000.
Yeah.
This whole program is free. So they don't have to pay anything. The only thing that we ask is that you're committed.
This is truly a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for people to change their lives.
And it does, and we really try not to focus on weight because everybody's body mass is different. I don't like to focus on that. What I do like to focus is what are your numbers and how do you feel? We do have success with weight loss because if you're following the program, you are going to lose weight because now you're not sitting around, you're exercising. Now you're not just eating that junk food, but you're choosing a better snack, or you're having more portion control. So we're having good success with that, and people do, at the end of the program, they feel so much better, and they have more energy, and they fit into their clothes better, and we've gotten some great comments back from
Yeah.
the participants.
I remember reading one comment from a participant from, I believe, last year, who was able to literally get back on the saddle again. I was just so taken by that. She had been, she was overweight, she was inactive, and after this program, which she found thrilling. She absolutely loved the program. She said, now I can get back on my horse again, and ride off into the,
Into the sunset.
so
Yeah,
that was a fun comment.
and it becomes like a family because you get to know each other, and so just talking, and you end up sharing a lot more than just your weight journey, and it just becomes a great support system as well. So I still contact a lot of the other from
They're
the
your,
older group.
they're your friends and
They
family
are,
now?
exactly, yes.
Yeah, very nice.
Yeah.
Well, how do people apply for the program, and what are you looking for in applicants?
We are looking for people who are committed, because this is a 6-month program, and as I mentioned before, we supply all sorts of energy into this program with the education and the labs and everything that goes with it. But you, as a person, have to do the work. You have to follow this and try making these changes, exercising more and eating better. So we want people that are committed, that will go the distance. If you're not committed, if you're not a person that thinks you can do it, then leave that spot open for someone who can. But so that's what we're looking for, someone who is committed. It doesn't matter whether you're a man or woman. We'll take them 18 and over. What we do want is we want someone who's committed.
Makes complete sense,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
So how do they actually apply for the program?
We have an application, so all you have to do is contact me by email. but I think we're gonna have that on the screen, and my phone number. I would prefer if you send email, because I'll need your address so I can send you the application. Fill out the application. When I send it to you, I'll also send you an envelope that'll have to be prepaid. You can just send it back, you don't even have to put a stamp on it. And once I receive that, and I have all of them by February 15th, and then we'll choose the
That's
20
cutoff
from
date.
there. That
So
is the
in
cutoff date.
20 maximum. But just in case, if we could give your email address.
It's capital B, capital N, EU, BAUER, @mercy.com.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Betsy, and, we hope you get a lot of applicants from this area. Thank you very much for exploring the program and sharing it with the residents of this part of the county.
Thank you very much. It's a great
Thank you.
program, so
Yeah, it
sign
is.
up.
And thank you, Wellington High School and Dave and students.